Hallelujah. Yeah, we gonna do this with the fireworks going off in the background and all. Rock Yahuwah.
Rock you.
Yeah. So I seen a post from the beloved sister from the Master's Voice. And on that post, she said that Yahuwah said to tell the people of this nation, this will be the last peaceful 4th of July that this nation will ever celebrate. And so when I saw that, it instantly done something to me. It did something to me. It tugged at my spirit, and my spirit resonated with that post. And so then I started sitting down and thinking and came up with this. What is the 4th of July a celebration of? What do they say it is?
Oh, the Independence Day.
Independence Day. So the day that they broke away from the British and became a nation. The birth of a nation.
Right.
Right? This nation's birthday.
Yep.
So they're celebrating their first, not knowing that they are actually celebrating their last. What is the opposite? What is the opposite of birth?
Death.
Death. So they are actually celebrating their death. They are actually celebrating their soon coming judgment. Oh, what a foolish nation. It celebrates its wickedness and its coming destruction with fireworks and with liquor and barbecues, eating the flesh of pig and swine. It has a name, America, like it is alive, but yet it is really dead.
Yeah, it is dead.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 1. This nation was founded in 1776 by our people. What was our people doing while this nation was being founded? Our people was being sold.
Mm-hmm.
Our people was being sodomized. Our people was being castrated. Our people were being killed. Our people was being hung. They would rape the women and then take the babies and use them as alligator bait.
Mm-hmm.
They would kill our men and then skin them and then use their skin to make boots and purses.
Yep.
They forced labor. By forced labor, we built this nation for the heathens.
We built this nation.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 12 says, woe to him that builds a town. Woe to him that builds a nation by the blood of men and establishes a city by unrighteousness. Not celebrating, but woe.
Right.
The death of a nation. You celebrate your last in peace. Hallelujah. Let's start with the transgression of our people. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32, verses 15 through 21, because this all starts with us. This all started with him loving on us and taking us out of Egypt and planting us in our own land. And then once we got to our land, we sacrificed our children and gave them over to Baal, to false gods, and did every kind of wickedness on this earth. And then he uprooted us out of our land. Let's read that. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15 through 21. Come on, brother Yashar. The transgression of our people.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
But Yasharun grew fat and kicked. You grew fat, you grew thick, you are covered with fat. So he forsook Eluah who made him and scorned the rock of his deliverance.
Uh-huh.
They moved him to jealousy with strange matters. With abominations they provoked him. They slaughtered to demons, not Eluah.
Mm-hmm.
Mighty ones they did not know. New ones who came lately, which your fathers did not fear.
Yes, come on.
You neglected the rock who brought you forth and forgot the all who fathered you. And Yahuwah saw and despised because of the provocation of his sons and his daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, let me hide my face from them. Let me see what their end is, for they are a perverse generation, children in whom there is no trusting.
We are a perverse generation. Our ancestors was a perverse generation whom Yahuwah couldn't trust. Hallelujah. So let's see the end result of that. Verse 21.
Says they made me jealous by what is not all. They provoked me with their worthless matters. But I make them jealous by those who are no people. I provoke them with a foolish nation.
He provokes us to jealousy with a foolish nation. With a foolish nation. So now let's identify this foolish nation. Turn to Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy 28. Let's see if we can pinpoint and identify this foolish nation. Deuteronomy 28, verses 47 through 51.
All right, Deuteronomy 28, verse 47. Because you did not serve Yahuwah your Elohim with joy and gladness of heart for all the plenty, you shall serve your enemies whom Yahuwah sends against you, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in need of all. And he shall put a yoke of iron on your neck until he has destroyed you.
Yes, he just described the captivity of our people.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see who this foolish nation is. Let's get a clue. Verse 49.
Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
As swift as what?
As swift as the eagle flies.
So there go clue number one. It has something to do and is identified with an eagle. Babylon. Come on, read that again.
It says, and Yahuwah shall bring a nation against you from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies. A nation whose language you shall not understand. a fierce-looking nation, which shall show no regard for the elderly, nor show favor to the young.
51.
And they shall eat the fruit of your livestock and the fruit of your land until you are destroyed. And they leave you no grain, nor new wine, nor oil, nor the increase of your cattle, or the offspring of your flocks, until they have destroyed you.
Until they have destroyed you. So all of this was prophesied to our grandfather, Father Abraham, in Genesis 15. Let's take a look at that. Genesis 15. Genesis 15, verses 12 verses 13 through 15. Now let's go with verses 13 and 14. Genesis 15, verses 13 and 14. Come on.
It says, and he said to Abram, know for certain that your seed shall be sojourners in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
They shall afflict his descendants in a strange land that is not theirs for 400 years. He's talking to us, y'all. But what is the end result of that? Verse 14.
It says, but the nation who they serve, I am going to judge, and afterward let them come out with great possessions.
So after the 400 years comes what? Judgment. Judgment.
Yeah.
The death of a nation. And then we come out with great possessions. Because the cup of the Amorites, the cup of the Americans, your cup is full, yet you celebrate the death of a nation. Come on, let's go to our people crying out in captivity. Tahalim 37, 137. Tahalim 137. So here we got our people in the lands of our captivity crying out for forgiveness and crying out for righteous judgment from our captors, from our oppressors. Tahalim 137. By the rivers of Babylon, we cry to you. By the rivers of Babel, there we sat down and wept and remembered Zion. We hung our lairs upon the willows in the midst of it. For our captors, for there our captors asked us for the words of a song, and our plunderers for rejoicing, saying, sing us a song of Zion. But how could we sing the song of Yahuah on foreign soil? If I forget you, O Yerushalayim, let my right hand forget. Let my tongue cleave to my palate. If I do not remember you, if I do not exalt Yerushalayim above my chief joy. Crying out to Yahuah. O Yahuah, remember against the sons of Edom the day of Yerushalayim, who said, lay it bare to its foundation. O daughter of Babylon, America, who are to be destroyed, blessed is he who repays your deed for what you did to us. Blessed is he who shall dash your little ones' heads against the rock. Hallelujah. Yahuah, I want y'all to remember that last line where our ancestors cried out and said, blessed is he who bashes their children's head against the rock. Remember that, because that's going to help identify who this nation is. Barak Yahuwah,
Rock YAHUAH.
the death of a nation. Today, you celebrate your last in peace. We got three witnesses. So the first of the three witnesses of the destruction of Babylon that they are celebrating, even as we speak in the background, Isaiah 13, verses 1 through 16. Isaiah 13, verses 1 through 16. Yahuwah hears the cries of his people. He hears our cries. He hears the cries of the righteous. And he's not wroth forever, and vengeance is his, and he shall repay. Hallelujah. Isaiah 13, verses 1 through 16. A message concerning Babylon, which Yashayahu, son of Amos, saw. Lift up a banner on the high mountain. Raise your voice to them. Wave your hand. Let them enter the gates of the nobles. For I have commanded my set apart ones, and I have called my mighty men for my displeasure, my proudly exalted ones. The noise of an uproar in the mountains, like that of many people, a noise of uproar of the reigns of the nations gathered together. Yahuwah of hosts is gathering an army for battle. They are coming from a distant land, from the lands of the heavens, even Yahuwah and his weapons of displeasure to destroy all the earth. How? For the day of Yahuwah is near. It comes as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore, all hands go limp, and every man's heart melts, and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows take hold of them, and in their pain, as a woman in labor, they are amazed at one another, and their faces aflame. See, the day of Yahuwah is coming, fierce with wrath and heat of displeasure, to lay low the earth, to lay the earth waste, and to destroy its sinners from it. For the stars of the Shamayim and the constellations do not give off their light, and the sun shall be dark at its rising, and the moon not send out its light. And I shall punish the world for its evil, and the wrong for their crookedness. And I shall put an end to the arrogance of the proud, and lay low the pride of this ruthless nation. I shall make a mortal man scarcer than fine gold, and mankind scarcer than the gold of Ophir. So I shall make the heavens tremble, and the earth shall shake from her place in the wrath of Yahuwah of hosts, in the day of the heat of his displeasure. And it shall be as the hunted gazelle, and as the sheep that no man takes up. Look, that every man turns to his own people, and everyone flees to his own land. So there goes another clue that whatever this Babylon is, it is a melting pot of mixed people. And during this time, it will cause them to do what? Flee back to where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. Number 15. Whoever though is found is thrust through, and everyone taken falls by the sword. Look, the cries, the answers of our prayers, and their children's are dashed into pieces before their eyes, and their houses are plundered, and their wives are ravished. Hallelujah. You're celebrating the death of a nation. Barak Yahuwah.
Barak Yahuwah, the destruction of a nation.
Yes. Let's go to witness number 2. Jeremiah chapter 50, verses 31 through 40. Witness number 2. Jeremiah 50, verses 31 through 40. Witness number 2. A sword to the proud one, a nation of mixed people. Why do you celebrate? Verse 31. Because see, I am against you, O proud one, declares the master Yahuwah of hosts. For your day has come, the time of your punishment, and the proud one shall stumble, and he shall fall, with no one to rise him up. And I shall kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all around him. Thus says Yahuwah of hosts, the children of Yasharal were oppressed, along with the children of Judah. All who took them captive have held them fast, and they refuse to let them go. So there goes another clue to who Babylon is. Whoever Babylon is, you are holding the children of Yasharal and the children of Judah. You have taken them captive.
And refuse to let them go.
But their Redeemer is strong. Yahuwah of hosts is his name, and he shall strongly plead their case as to give rest to the land, but unrest unto the inhabitants of America, Babylon. A sword to the Kasdim, declares Yahuwah, and it is upon the inhabitants of Babel, and upon their heads, and upon her wise men. A sword upon the liars, and they shall be fools. A sword upon their mighty men, and they shall be broken down. A sword upon their horses, and upon their chariots. Look, and upon all the mixed people who are in their midst. Babylon is a place of mixed people who have held the children of Judah and Yasharal captive. Yet they shall become as women, a sword upon her treasures, and they shall be plundered, a sword upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is a land of carved images. It is a land of carved images. Your Statue of Liberty. And they boast about their idols. They boast about their politicians. They boast about their entertainers. They boast about their sports stars. They boast about their military. Proud boasters. Therefore, the wild beasts shall dwell with the jackals, and the ostriches dwell in it, and it shall never be again be inhabited nor dwelt in unto all generations. For as Yahuwah Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities, declares Yahuwah, so no one would dwell there, nor would a son of man sojourn in it. The death of a nation. You celebrate. Hallelujah. Witness number three. Witness number three. Let's go to the book of Nahum. So during that eclipse, America and the people on YouTube and stuff, they was saying, "Oh, Nineveh, America is Nineveh. We got the eclipse passing over 7 cities named Nineveh. America, Nineveh." So, since you want to attach yourself to Nineveh, you're about to attach yourself to the judgments of Nineveh. And watch how it mirrors you. The judgment of Nineveh. Nahum chapter 3. Brother, give me 1 through 7 to start.
2:7. Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the city of blood. All of it is a lie, filled with plunder. The prey is not lacking. The sound of a whip and the sound of rattling wheels, of galloping horses, of jolting chariots, mounted horsemen with bright sword and glittering spear, and many wounded, and a mass of dead bodies, and no end of corpses. They stumble over the corpses.
Yeah, so since you want to attach yourself and call yourself Nineveh, take the judgments of Nineveh. Number 4.
Because of many whorings of the well-favored whore, the mistress of sorceries, who sells nations by her whorings and clans by her sorceries.
Mm-hmm.
See, I am against you, declares Yahuwah of hosts, and shall lift up your skirts over your face, and shall show nations your nakedness, and reigns your shame.
Hallelujah. Number 6.
And I shall cast abominations upon you, and treat you as foolish, and make a spectacle of you.
The foolish nation. Babylon, America. The foolish nation. Come on.
And it shall be that all who see you flee from you, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who does mourn for her? Where do I seek comforts for you?
America, Babylon is laid waste. Who does mourn for her? And where do I seek comforters for you? Hallelujah. Skip to verse 10. Verse 10.
Yet she was exiled. She went into captivity. At the head of every street, her young children were dashed to pieces.
There goes the cries of our ancestors from Tahalim 137. Come on.
Lots were cast for her esteemed men, and all her great men were bound in chains. You too are to become drunk. You are to go into hiding. You too are to seek refuge from the enemy. All your strongholds are fig trees with ripened figs. When they shaken, they shall fall into the mouth of the eater. See, your people in your midst are women. The gates of your land shall be open wide to your enemies.
Does that sound familiar?
Yep.
It is Yahuwah who is allowing these people to come in. It is a judgment on you, and you cannot fight the hand of Yahuwah.
Rock Yahuwah.
Hallelujah. Read that again.
Verse 13. See, your people in your midst are women.
They don't know whether they're men or women. We are a nation of perverted weirdos. Come on.
And the gates of your land shall be open wide to your enemies. Fire shall consume your gate bars. Draw for yourself water for the siege. Strengthen your defenses. Go into the clay and tread the mortar. Lay hold of the brick mold. There a fire shall consume you. Sword cut you off. Eat you up like a locust. Make yourself many like the locusts. Make yourself many like the swarming locusts.
Number 16, the judgment of Babylon. Come on.
You have increased your merchants more than the stars of the heavens. The locusts shall stripe off and fly away. So strip off and fly away.
Yes. Plunder this land. Come on.
Your officials are like the locusts, and your marshals are like the great grasshoppers, which settle in the hedges on a cold day. And when the sun rises, they flee away, and the place where they are is unknown. Your shepherds have slumbered.
Your
Oh,
pastors have slumbered. Your leaders, your spiritual leaders have slumbered. Your shepherds have slumbered. Come on.
and your nobles lie down to rest. Your people are scattered on the mountain, and no one gathers them. Your injury has no healing. Your wound is grievous. All who hears news of you shall clap their hands over you. For over whom did your evil not pass continually?
Who did you not invade? What country did you not go and plunder? Who did your evil not pass over? Because of that, as you are celebrating the death of your nation, the enemy shall rejoice and celebrate along with you the death of your nation. The third witness, Barak Yahuwah. Let's go to James chapter 4. James chapter 4, verses 8 through 10. You shouldn't be celebrating. Let the righteous not celebrate. You're celebrating your last. Don't celebrate, but rather humble yourselves in the eyes of Yahuwah. James chapter 4, verses 8 through 10. Come on.
James chapter 4, verse 8 says, draw near to Elohim, and he shall draw near to you. Cleanse hands, sinners, and cleanse the heart, you double-minded.
You double-minded. 1 minute you're celebrating Pride Month. And then the next minute you're celebrating the birth of America. Hypocrites. My people. 1 minute you're celebrating Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth, Brother Greg?
Juneteenth is when the slaves in Texas found out that they were free 2 years later.
Hallelujah. So 1 minute you're celebrating the freedom, the so-called freedom of your people. Then 2 weeks later, you're celebrating the freedom of those who raped and pillaged your people. Babylon, the land of confusion. Come on. Cleanse your hearts, you double-minded. Number 9.
Lament and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to dejection.
Let your celebration be turned to mourning, and let your joy turn to dejection. Humble yourselves in the sight of your master, Yahuwah, and in due time he shall lift you up. Barak Yahuwah. Let's close with Isaiah 57. some words of uplifting and encouragement to his covenant people and to all who love him. Isaiah 57, starting at verse 15 through 21. But there is no peace for the wicked. Thus declares the high and exalted one who dwells forever, whose name is set apart. I dwell in the high and set apart place with him who is bruised and humble in spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the bruised ones. For I would not strive forever, nor am I wroth, nor am I mad forever. For the spirit would grow faint before me, even the beings or the souls that I have made. For the crookedness of his unfair gain, I was wroth, and I struck him, and hid myself, and was wroth, and he went on backsliding in the way of his heart. I have seen his ways, but now I heal him, and now I lead him, and now I restore comforts to him and to his mourners, creating the fruit of the lips, peace, peace to him who is far off, and peace to him who is near, says Yahuwah, and I shall heal him. But to the wicked, they are like the troubled sea, for it is unable to rest, and its waters cast up mud and dirt. There is no peace from my Elohim for the wicked. Thus says Yahuwah. The death of a nation. Celebrate, because you're celebrating your last one in his peace. So be it.
So be it.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.